Hello there.
In the last video, I signed with NXT and my first televised match is against Raul Mendoza, and I completely dominate him in my televised debut. I seem to have made Cora Klein obsessed with me because she came all the way over to NXT for the SK penis. I then called Cameron Grimes a dumbass on social media for claiming he's a great superstar to wear a hat, and he proceeds to attack me before the match even begins like the filthy little beta male that he is. I then have a rematch with him the following week and he's about to hit me with a baseball bat until Jeff Hardy stops him and hits me with a baseball bat instead. I then challenge Jeff Hardy and Cameron Grimes to face me and my mystery partner in a TLC match. The mystery partner is of course Patrick Bateman. As you would expect, I win the match because of course I do. Hector Flores asks me to tag with him because a lot has been on his mind lately relating to Vin Diesel's favourite word, relatives. I also have a nice new purple attire now. After the match, Hector Flores tells me that his father is El Mago and that his father wants Hector Flores to become El Mago Jr. Hector doesn't want that because he worked too hard to get here just to be called El Mago Jr. Me and Hector Flores create fake luchador accounts on social media to challenge El Mago to come out of retirement in a mask versus mask match. We arrive in Mexico and it's kind of obvious who I am because of the tattoo on my left shoulder. I get to win by forcing El Mago to tap out, and then we unmask El Mago Jr. to expose him as a fraud because he's actually some white guy and not a Mexican. That dumb fuck Chase then somehow gets a tryout match on NXT and he asks me to let him win.
I'm dumb as fuck.
I start beating the fuck out of him before the match even begins like I was his stepdad after 12 cans of Stella. I then quickly finish the match by throwing him around like the filthy jobber that he is. NXT is going on a Japanese tour and Hulkamania is going to be running wild in the land of the rising sun. I then beat up Hulk Hogan on his way to the ring in Japan, which means that I am now officially black and I can be photoshopped in that picture of Cody Rhodes and Martin Luther King. Hulk Hogan is taken to a local medical facility and Kushida is mad because I beat up his favourite wrestler, so I have a match with him which doesn't go well for him. Hulk Hogan then challenges me to a tag match against him and Kushida, so I tell him to stop being a little bitch and face me one-on-one like a real man. Now I'm wrestling a match with Hulk Hogan again, but this time it isn't all in my imagination. I of course dominate the roided up old man and send him back to retirement. I then get into some beef with Oney Lorcan online, and after my match he took my phone and made a bunch of silly posts on my social media. So I respond with real world violence and destruction of personal property.
You think you're real funny, huh? Well, good luck trying to post anything now.
I guess we won't be hearing from Oney Lorcan on social media for a bit. Good.
I hope he had insurance.
Oney Lorcan then makes me look like a real asshole by saying that his dead grandpa's last voicemail was on his phone, so I offered to buy him a new phone. After my match, Lorcan reveals that I made everything up about his dead grandpa's voicemail, so then I put an end to his shit for good. Cora Klein then comes back again for some more of the SK penis. I then get into some beef online with Keith Lee because I basically called him a loser after he lost yet another championship opportunity. I agreed to have a match with Keith Lee after my already scheduled match, and before my match with him can begin, I talk about all the dirt I've dug up on Keith Lee, such as his failures, how he wasted a scholarship, his tax evasion, and his criminal record. Keith Lee gets so butthurt that he begins to attack me like everyone else with his skin colour does. But I'm such an alpha that after the assault I just lay there unfazed. I then challenged Keith Lee to a match at the Performance Center because he failed his WWE tryout 3 times at the Performance Center. I of course win, which means he has failed at the Performance Center 4 times now.
Do I hear 5?
Keith Lee wants one more match and allows me to pick the stipulation, so I picked the one which allows me to showcase my technical ability by making him tap out. To celebrate my victory over Keith Lee, I give this podcast host a taste of the SK penis again. I then accept an opportunity for the North American Championship by competing in a triple threat match, which I obviously win. The North American champion Damien Priest then puts a bounty on me for 50 grand. Caleb Braxton then interviews me to get my opinion, and I tell everyone that if he wants some, come get some, and then I proceed to give her the SK penis. Roderick Strong attempts to get the bounty reward on me, but I decide to literally kill him instead. Santos Escobar sneaks up behind me before my match, but I win anyway because I'm SK Storm, not Chase the Jobber. Damien Priest then doubles the bounty reward, so I end up having to fight off Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Damien Priest then finally decides to handle this himself, and I make sure to let him know that I've stolen his bounty money for myself. This is my first championship opportunity in the WWE, and I of course make the most of it by becoming the North American champion. Karrion Kross is saying some cringe weeaboo shit online, and his goth bitch interferes in the middle of my match to get some SK penis. I tell Karrion Kross that his goth bitch just cheated on him with me, and he continues to say some more cringe weeaboo shit. After my next title defense, Karrion Kross vandalizes my championship belt and leaves a sandtimer in the ring. I tell Karrion Kross to stop being a little bitch and fight me, so he does, and it doesn't turn out good for him. William Regal then offers me a spot in the NXT breakout tournament for a chance at the NXT championship. My first opponent in this tournament is Joaquin Wilde, and I successfully defeat him like the British defeated the Argentinians in the Falklands. Is that a relevant comparison? No. Hotel Trivago. Joaquin Wilde isn't too happy about his loss, but that doesn't matter because now I have to face my friend Hector Flores in the tournament. The match goes well for me until Joaquin Wilde gets involved and causes me to lose my chance at the NXT championship. Hector Flores isn't too happy about winning because he wanted to win clean. After the match, I tell Joaquin Wilde that I will find him and I will kill him.
I will find you, and I will kill you.
I then assault him backstage and basically kill him. William Regal then puts me up against Joaquin Wilde in a no-holds-barred match to settle our issues, and I win of course. William Regal then wants me to dethrone Finn Balor as NXT champion because of a time stipulation where he can't lose the championship if the match goes longer than 5 minutes. My first 5-minute test is against Dominik Dijakovic and I win in just about 2 minutes. I then have another test match against Raul Mendoza, and as expected, SK Storm wins. Then I finally face Finn Balor for the NXT championship, and now I am at the top of the NXT mountain. I give a victory speech after winning the NXT championship, but then some bald people show up.
Vegeta, look! More bald people.
The bald people then attack me and Finn Balor does some gay little stripper thing. I ask Samoa Joe for help defeating the demon Finn Balor, and he agrees to help me as long as I help him by attacking Braun Strowman. I arrive to defend my NXT championship against Demon Finn Balor, and Samoa Joe comes to help me, but Braun Strowman also tries to get revenge on me for attacking him. This doesn't stop me from successfully defending my NXT championship because I retained gold. Dakota Kai then asks me if it's true that I used to fuck Candice LeRae, and I tell her that I have the sex tapes to prove it. Then she drops down to her knees and begs to make a sex tape with the SK penis. I then get on the microphone to talk about how I used to fuck Candice LeRae in all the fun positions we tried, such as the midfielder, the quarterback, the helicopter, and my personal favourite, cuddling up with each other whilst talking about our feelings. Gargano gets angry and attacks me because Candice LeRae has never cuddled up with him to talk about their feelings. I then threaten to release the sex tapes of me and Candice LeRae, and Gargano doesn't like that idea at all. Gargano then attacks me during my match, and Candice is about to hit me with a steel chair until Dakota Kai saves SK Storm so that she can get some of the SK penis later. Also, I promised Dakota Kai that I would get her an NXT Women's Championship title shot, but the SK penis isn't gonna do something in exchange for pussy because that's called prostitution. I then have a mixed tag match with Dakota Kai against Gargano and Candice 7-inch dick fit in your mouth. On social media, Gargano is still upset that I raw dogged Candice 100 times. I then defend my NXT Championship against Gargano and it goes well for me until I get distracted by Candice and lose my NXT Championship. I then pull off an epic prank by making Gargano hurt Candice LeRae. I then continue to talk shit online to Gargano because backing down now after losing my NXT Championship would make me look weak and quitters never win. I have an immediate rematch against Gargano for the NXT Championship in the last man standing match, which I win to become a 2-time NXT champion. Walter wants an NXT Championship match and I invite him to come and get it if he wants it. After my match, Walter arrives trying to intimidate me by having his hands behind his back. He arrives to attack me with Imperium, but British Strong Style comes save me from the outnumbered assault and everyone starts fighting. I then have an 8-man match partnering with British Strong Style against Imperium and I get the win for British Strong Style. I then successfully defend my NXT Championship against Walter, and then after the match, Pete Dunne kindly asks for his NXT Championship opportunity, so I give him a title shot where he's also unsuccessful in stopping the man, the myth, the legend, SK Storm. I then have my final match in NXT against Johnny Gargano and I am headed over to SmackDown where I will exploit Mongolian child slaves.